Okay, everybody, it's time for Free Tip Friday. I'm Kate Richburg, and it is Friday, February 10th. I haven't been talking that much today, so I need to take a little bit of water. There we go. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I'm still in Tucson recovery mode, I'll tell you. I've been back almost a week, and I'm still, look at my hair, everything looks kind of still windblown. But it was a great trip, and I'll share a little bit more of it with you a little bit later. It wasn't Emily's broadcast on this past Wednesday. Fantastic. We had such a fun time doing that loomed necklace. I've got mine right over there that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But we've got so much to cover today. Number one, we're going to do my take on Drea's sweater weather project. I'm calling it Cable Knit. It's great to see so many people on here saying hello. Janice is moderating over on YouTube. Geeta is moderating over on Facebook. So many new friends and old friends are here to watch the broadcast. I love it. I'm going to go over my loomed project that was inspired by Tucson. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you kind of how I laid it out. And then at the very end of the broadcast, I'm going to have some giveaways. So as you know, there's a little dot on the screen that's bugging me. There we go. As you know, because we've been talking about it nonstop, we did a lot at the Tucson Gem Shows last week. Crazy. My living room filled with beads. Slowly, they'll make it out here to the studio, organizing. It was a lot. I did some serious shopping. But I also brought home some things for you folks. I have a giveaway bag from the Mojo show for you. We're going to give that away. And I have 2 copies of the Tucson Gem Show guide that we're going to give away. So there'll be 3 lucky winners today. We're going to do it only on the live broadcast, and I'll give you a little more info on how to win, but it's going to be fun. This is what we call upside down. This is what we call the Tucson Bible. You can probably order one. It used to be done by Interweave, and I think it might still be produced by Interweave, the same people who did like the Lapidary Journal and stuff. But now that magazines are no longer a thing, it's kind of, they're a little harder to get. The cool thing about this guide is that it did have, let me show you this. I should have marked the page, but I'll show you. Come on, if I can turn the page. It has the Interweave Reader's Choice group in here who won from Interweave's like the best of the best categories. That was kind of fun to see that. It also had some honorees from 2002, and I can see some of my buddies there. Tim Macrame right there, my buddy Brenda Schwader right there. So it was cool. And then some of our other friends here, Danielle Wicks here. So, and it also has just every information like about every show and stuff like that. So this is the first thing I get when I hit the ground running in Tucson is a Tucson show guide. So there's 2. Oh, and thank you, Michelle. That's awesome. You can order a digital copy. I thought that there might be a way to do that. So good to know. If you go into the Interweave or if you do a search for Tucson show guide, I'm sure you'll find it. But it really is a great BD resource for you. So I've got this bag of goodies, and we'll do that a little bit later in the broadcast. So let's get this started. Okay, let me add my project here. some of you will remember when Drea did her project called Sweater Weather, and I have the piece I did from her. I have it here, and we'll take a little bit of a closer look. But I also have it to show you here. I did a screenshot of it. Here it is. So if you'll remember, there it is right there. Drea's really cool memory wire. I'll get over here so you can see me. They're memory wire bracelets, right? With the 5mm rondelles, you can see here, and 0.5mm leather. And she did just the flat macrame stitch, and they were super fun to do. And so if you go back and you look at the broadcast and you look at her notes, it's under, the category is memory wire is back under bracelets on beadshop.com. And Drea breaks it all down. She did a little handout for you so you can see. What she did was she strung all of hers on one long piece of memory wire, then cut it up, and then made the bracelets individually. What I did here today is I cut my 2 pieces of memory wire here, and I'm going to show you how I deal with that. So let's go ahead. Let me spotlight this here. So I'm there. There we go. I need to really clean my screen. I can't tell if I've got stuff. I do. I've got some 15s on my velvet pad here. I can't tell if it's on my screen or on my pad, but there we go. So let's take a look. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone's comments there. It looks like we're good. Okay, so this is what you need. You don't need much, right, for this. And with Drea's, like I said, she did the flat macrame. So I thought I would call mine, instead of sweater weather, I'd call it cable knit. And we're going to do this with the spiral macrame. And we also launched some brand new 0.5mm leather. And we've got some new flat leather that went in today. But we've got this in the distressed rose and in this distressed green. So I'm going to use these today. And I thought I'd use Drux. I've got some 6mm and I've got some 4mm. So where Drea used the rondelles, which would look great here, I thought I'd use rounds. And this just goes to show you, you can use anything that kind of works for you, right? Let me get these out of the way. They're shading a little bit. So any bead that will fit on the memory wire will work. Okay. So let me just jump in. I mean, they're so simple. They're so simple. And it's a great, like if you're planning some get-togethers for, I don't know, if you get together for Passover or the Easter holidays, which are coming up soon, or if you're doing a spring break kind of a thing, and you want to bring a little project to share with your girlfriends or your family or your boyfriends or whoever wants to create, this is a fun and fast one. Melanie is asking about Chinese knotting cord. You sure could use Chinese knotting cord. You could also use Ceylon. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be naughty. And I'm going to grab something that we're going to be launching soon. Just for fun, because I like to give you folks sneak previews. Let's see. Hang on. I'm going to be right back in the photo. I just want to grab a couple of things here. There we go. I'll grab this one and this one. Okay. We're also launching a new thread. And you've seen me use a bunch of different threads. We've got a bunch of different threads on Bead Shop. I have a whole bunch of threads that I just got in from one of our suppliers that I'm testing out. Because as you know, here at Bead Shop, we love thread. We love doing all that. We're getting and we're launching soon this new hemp cord. Someone asked, Barbara, you read my mind. What are you doing? What are you doing reading my mind? She said I used hemp cord. Well, we have some new hemp cord that's coming in about a month, in the next month or so. I think we're going to be launching this. The hemp cord is about the same weight as the 0.5-ish. You can see, let me undo this one. Look at this beautiful shade, color shade. Wouldn't that be pretty? So we've got some that have this ombre style. This one is the black. So you can see I kind of picked them. I know this isn't a show about hemp, but, and I'm so glad that you're saying you love hemp cord. You know, Janice and I were like, well, what should we do? I don't know. We like them. Will you folks like them? So the hemp is pretty refined. You know, when you think kind of hemp cord, you think of like macrame and, I don't know, Fimo beads and, things that are a little more summer carefree, you know what I want to say. So, but this hemp cord, you can see I'm going to hold it next to the 0.5 millimeter like this, giving you a little bit of a preview on it. It's about the same size. Okay. Wax linen will also work with this. We've got this hemp cord because we love working with wax linen, but we're excited to add this to our product lineup and use it where we use wax linen. So we're super excited for it. This is the number 10. And you'll see this. So stay tuned to your newsletters. Oh, I'm so stoked. Janice, look at how many people are loving that we're going to be carrying hemp. Emily was pretty excited about it, and I sent some to her, and she is going to work on a netting project using the hemp. So I promise there's green. There is green. I did not grab them, but there's green, and there's green in a variegated too. I love them. So just a little, it's Free Tip Friday. We're a little more casual around here. So it could be used, test your different cords. Chinese knotting cord, wax linen, this 0.5, all of this. So whatever works for you, whatever you like. So let me show you here with Drea's style, the one that I did here. This one is the flat macrame and the 0.5 millimeter leather. What I like about using the leather is that it really gives some stitch definition to the macrame that you're doing. Sometimes with the Chinese knotting cord, the stitches maybe aren't quite as defined, right? It runs together a little bit. But with the leather, I think you can really see those stitches really stand out. So that's what reminds me of kind of like knitting or crocheting. So hence the title Sweater Weather. And my update, I'm calling it cable knit is this one. So let's get down to it. So, and yes, hemp will come in purple. This purpley one will have it just plain. It's cool. Oh, I'm so stoked. Yay. I'm glad you guys like it. Good. Stay tuned to the newsletter because it'll be going up within this next month. I'm excited for it. So I'm going to cut up the 4 millimeter drugs. I'm going to put a few of those down here. And I'm going to cut up a few of the 6 millimeter drugs. Speaking of product, Janice and I are finalizing all of the ins and outs of our new seed bead line. We're going over the colors and everything. So you're going to see those pretty quickly. The Charlottes, I think, drop first in about a month, maybe a little bit more. I think they drop actually in April. And then the 10-02 cuts drop in or maybe they drop in March and April. I don't know. Again, stay tuned to the newsletter. We've got so many new things. It's just crazy. So here's my my memory wire that I cut in half using the memory wire cutter. Okay, don't use your regular cutter, right? So you want to use that memory wire cutter that's made for memory wire. And I just cut mine in half. And it's 12 rotations, 12 rounds. And this gives me about 6 per bracelet. Okay. So I'm going to move these over. And I think what I'm going to use is this distress green with those 6 aughts and the distress rose with the green. Okay. And so what I'm going to do to start with the memory wire, and let me get a little closer here so you folks can see this. Oh, I'm excited that you folks love the Charlottes. I love Charlottes too. I have some vintage ones that I've had forever. Way back in the 90s, there was this company called Empyrean Beads. I don't know if you folks remember it. It's long out of business now, but they used to show at the Whole Bead Show in Tucson way back in the day. And they would have old seed beads and seed beads from France and stuff like that. Emily and I were talking about them when we were in Tucson. And so I have some old Charlottes from Empyrean. Yeah, those were fun times. But I think you're going to love these new ones. We've got some really nice colors. So see what I did here? I just made a loop on the end. We also carry, it's not a very nice looking loop. Let me straighten it out a little bit. We also carry the glue-on ends, so you can just glue on a little, a little closure on the end. Or you could also glue a bead on the end using zap glue, however you want to close it. In Drea's project, she just loops them. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay. So now to kind of tame, I guess I want to say, your memory wire, I've got some clampers here. And what I do is you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. So I'm going to get my box here, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to just clip it like right there to hold it, right? And then I'm going to bring it, let me zoom out just a little bit here. Okay, like that. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to clip it there, right? It looks a little kind of goofy, right? But you'll see how I'm going to work this. Then I'm going to take my 0.5 millimeter leather here, and I've got 4 yards here. You can always add and take away. I think what I'm going to use, and Drea probably talks about it in her handout, but for me, I think I'm going to use about 2 yards here, right? You can always add it. Someone was asking, let me see here. Someone was asking about the bead and button show. Speaking of things that are no more. Yeah, Kathleen, I used to teach at Bead and Button every year. It was a lot of fun. Bead and Button was such a good time. Again, a lot of bead shows are fallen by the wayside. But that was definitely a fun one. Janice and I, at one of the last ones, you can see it on our YouTube channel, when I did that competition and had 3 hours to make a piece. And Janice was she was a trooper and did not miss a moment of filming. It was just crazy. So fun. The memory wire gauge, I don't have the package sitting here. It may say on the description, Janice, you might want to check, but just with my experience, I think it's about a 20 gauge, maybe a 21 gauge or so. Pretty standard with the memory wire. So it's kind of hard. Oh, and thank you. I thought Drea used 4 yards. Great. Thanks, Janice. I'm going to use the 2 yards just so I can, control it. And then we can always add it. I'll show you how to add. Okay. So here, what I do to start, because someone did comment that the memory wire is kind of springy. It's kind of hard to work with, right? So that's why I clamped. I'm going to clamp. I'm going to macrame a little bit. Then I'm going to push that macrame up, right? It's not going to be so tight that it won't move. All right. So I'm going to do, instead of the flat macrame, and I found the center of my cord, one of the things that you want to do, and let me mention it now, right? You want to just make sure that you kind of run this cord through your fingers to make sure that there's no little, micro imperfections in it that are going to cause it to break later. But that's what I do, just to double check it. Okay. If it breaks, it's no big deal. You can always add it. So here I go. So I'm going to start just doing our macrame. We're here. Let me get a little closer. Ellen, I remember you took that class with me at Bead and Button. Doing soldering classes at Bead and Button was so fun. I turned my whole classroom into a metalsmithing studio. It was just crazy. So much fun. Those good times. Now, it's just different times, right? But we still have fun. I'm still able to reach you all via this amazing medium of the virtual bead classroom. So here I'm going to start with my loop going towards the left. I bring that upper strand over, under the wire, and out through the loop. Okay. And I'm just going to continue to make the spiral. I'm going to continue in that same direction. With flat macrame, the flat macrame stitch, you go back and forth from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, then from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. But for this, just the spiral. And I named it cable knit because when you're knitting with the cable knit, right, you have that twisted cable for the sweater. And what you can do, instead of moving your whole piece, see how this cord, the knots that I'm making, turn to the right every time I tie the knot. So I don't have to adjust anything. It kind of automatically, see there, it twisted. It kind of automatically twists for you. And I love the way that this twisted macrame stitch looks. I feel like, I don't know, it elevates it just a little bit. I feel like I don't use it enough, right? I really, really like it. So you can see how it just twists and twists. So keep going from the left, making that loop, over and under to the right. So I don't know if you folks have a favorite, if you like the flat macrame or that twisted macrame. We've got that 5-stitch project. I'd like to bring that back. It has a bunch of different stitches. We make that wrap bracelet with a bunch of different stitches, especially with the hemp cord. It might be kind of fun to do the 5-stitch with the hemp. And it would give the piece such a different look. But see that here? How it just, let me see if I can bring the camera in a little bit. See how you get that nice twist, okay? Now, one of the things that Drea did on her piece, and let me zoom out a little bit and show you. I know it's so easy. You cannot get this wrong. And especially if you're going on a trip, right? And you have a bunch of friends that, I'm the one, no surprise. I'm the one who always brings a little craft, right, for my friends to do. And since we're so busy, like on friend vacation, like, eating and, dare I say, drinking and swimming and stuff like that, right? But it's always fun to have like a little craft that you can go to. This one is especially fun because all you need, you can also get the Chinese knotting cord, but all you need is a fiber, some beads. You can even do this with 8/0. It would look great. However you want to do it. And people could just macrame away the day, right? So here, I'm going to pull this down so I can get, there they go. They go right down there. And I'm going to connect my cord or my memory wire right back here on my board. And so now I'm going to come up and I'm going to push this cord up towards the end of my memory wire so it doesn't get too tight, right? So there it is. It's pushed in place like that, okay? Then I can decide, like if this is 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, maybe every 4 turns, I'll put a bead down, make it up, see what you like. And I don't really want to grip this on that macrame I've done. So let me see if I can grab just a little piece of thread here, and I'm going to make a little leash for it. Hold on. Let me do that. I've got a little piece of wax linen here, and that's going to hold everything. So see, I'm going to put it through that loop. Someone mentioned they like using the loops because you could add dangles to your piece. 100% agree. There we go. Can we see that there? Let me get a little tighter in so you can see it. There we go. Okay. So now I will come in and just keep going. So here's this. And I just bring my, Janice's ball of twine, Michelle. Remember, I used it at Christmas to tie my my beef tenderloin. I think it's still in the kitchen. So here I go. I just go around this bead. So I make the loop, make my stitch, and the cord is just going to sit on the outside of that, right? We had 2 balls of twine. Janice has one. I sent one to Janice, but I had a spare, and I used it in the kitchen for the Christmas holidays, and I think it's actually still in the kitchen. I need to get myself, it's not on the wall. I need to get myself a fresh ball of twine. So see here how I just continue to tie, and see how everything just kind of twists. If it doesn't twist, you can help it along a little bit so you don't have to move your threads. You just keep tying and it's going to twist. The memory wire is fairly slick, right? So you can just keep going and everything is going to just twist. If you need to help it along now that the bead is on there, you can do that too. But I am looping from the left and weaving the knot from the right. But you can do the other way, right? Just be consistent with which way you're tying. Okay, so I'm going to tie some more, and it goes pretty quickly, right? I'm going to tie some more. I'm going to get those 4 little spirals, DNA coils, as someone observed. See, there we go. I could twist it to keep this one on the left, so I'm not reaching under to tie the knot or anything. It's just pretty fast and easy. I love, well, as you know, I love tying knots. Knots are kind of my thing. Someone mentioned when I was showing the hemp, we're going to need some new macrame knots to go with that hemp. Thank goodness for Emily. She sends me macrame knots almost every day. So I have a pretty good backlog of knots I want to teach myself. But to be honest, once in a while I have to go back to my own tutorials and double check so I know what I'm doing. But you can find all of my macrame knots under Kate's Knot Compendium, Knot Pendium, I think, over on beadshop.com. But we'll think up some fun new ones for the hemp. I'm really excited about the variegated colors. I think is going to be fun. So here's this, right? And I'm just going to go through. And I'm almost done to my 4th coil. And then I'll slide another bead up and I'll show you that. And then that's really it. Could not be easier. There we go. That looks like about 4. You can also spread them out or push them up a little bit. Bring down the bead. There it is. And I'm going to continue. Okay. And no, it's not Beadsmith hemp. It's a different brand of hemp that we're going to carry. I'm pretty excited about it. The quality of the hemp is really nice. I'm pretty stoked. So here we go. Tighten it up. And you can see it's coming. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit and I'll show you the difference between this stitch that I've got here and then this one with the flat. And you could go back and forth between, of course, they're all in my tools, all twisted up here. There we go. So you can see the difference. There's the twist and then there's the flat. And you can mix up your beads, you can mix up the stitches and go a twist on one, flat on the other, go a section of the twist, a section of the flat, whatever floats your boat. And I think they all fit together really nicely. You could use one long one and just have the different sections of the different colors and the different beads, or you could just make them single like Drea did with her sweater weather. So that sweater weather, the twisted macrame is called cable knit. Okay, so that's that. Pretty easy to do. And then if I ran out of cord, what I would do is I'd just bring this cord down like this. I'd bring another strand, I'll show you here, another strand of the leather behind it, see, like this. And then I'd just start macrame. I'd macrame just a little bit, add a little bit of glue, cover that up a bit. And then once I'd gone maybe about 5 sets of stitches, I'd cut away the old cord and just continue with my new. That's it. Okay, super easy. Super, super easy. So I hope that you, I hope you like it. I like it. Oh, thanks. Pat, I love that. This is so cool. I'm the boss. Well, you know, not always, but I am the boss of this today for sure. Speaking of who's the boss of a project, Emily was certainly the boss of that looming project. And so I want to share with you what I've done. And you can see glue the ends when finished. Yes, what I would do, thank you for asking, and then I'll show you. Once I finish up, and I'll show you with Drea's, I would put a little bit of glue here. I'd put some probably GS Hypo probably here, though you could use Zap. It won't really make a difference, I don't think. A little bit, then I would macrame over that glue a couple of times. GS is probably actually what I do. Then on the very last stitch, I'd put a little bit of glue right there and right there, tie that last one, and then just a touch of glue on the top, let it sit overnight, and then clip it away. Okay, that's it. So that's exactly what I do, is glue. So that's it. And go over to Drea's sweater weather project, and she has a nice little handout that she did for these, her originals, and you can just substitute the spiral macrame like I did here. They really blew up. You folks really love them. I love them. They're so cool in their simplicity. And see how in this photo, Drea used the same color of the rondelle, that kind of what smoky, I don't know what it's called. I'd have to double check it, but it's all the same. Maybe it's that champagne. But the bead color is all the same, and she just changed the leather colors. So you cannot go wrong with this. Okay, you cannot do wrong. It is so easy. Okay, so let me get and I'm going to explain the giveaway. Okay, then I'm going to talk to you about my looming project, and then we're going to have the drawing. So, the giveaway. What you're going to do, let me center myself a little bit more. What we do for the giveaway is in the comments, let me get over here. And this is only good if you're watching this live. Right now it is Friday, February 10th, and we're live at 11:11 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to choose the winners at the end of this broadcast. But what you're going to do, you're going to comment. Hang on just a second. I put it up here. The comment is hashtag Tucson. Okay. So you also want to make sure, folks, that StreamYard, that's our platform that we use for streaming, can see your name. If you're watching on anywhere else, it shows, but if you're watching in the beadshop.com bead table group, since that group is private, you have to jump over to StreamYard. It's streamyard.com/Facebook and just grant them permission to see who you are so we can see who you are in the comment. So the giveaways are accepted today on the live broadcast on 2/10/23 only. And you are going to enter hashtag Tucson to win. And let me make sure. Yes, good. And you folks are already commenting. It's going, and I'm going to let those giveaways generate as we go. Perfect. So, thank you, Michelle. On the desktop platform of Facebook, go under Facebook account icon, settings, privacy, settings, apps and websites, mobile device, etc., etc. You can, sometimes you have to renew that connection because they do expire. But I am seeing everybody's name. Like I can see John's right here. Perfect. That's just what I want to see. So excellent. Thank you. Continue to comment. And let me share with you, let me put this away here real quick. And let me share with you my Tucson piece that I made. I kept thinking, and I think this every year when I go to Tucson, though I haven't been to Tucson since 2019 because of COVID, etc. But I always think, are you like this when you travel and you're like, how many travel projects do I need to bring? And the answer for travel projects is none. You need no travel projects, especially for Tucson, because there's no time, right? But yeah, this is looking good, folks. And you can comment more than once if you want, but it's not going to capture your comment more than one time. So it's hashtag Tucson, right? Tucson, Tucson. I don't think it matters if it's capitalized or not. Hashtag Tucson. Okay. So Tucson. Perfect. You folks have got it. Let me solo this and you folks can see it. So let me show you what I did. So I went a couple of places. My buddy Christine and I, who shopped with me, who's my business partner when we had our store in San Francisco called Bellissimo. It's the same exact loom. It's the Ojibwa loom. It's my favorite loom. We carried it way back in the day at Bead Shop when we were a brick and mortar store. I carried it in my store, Bellissimo. I just love it, this wood loom. It's just beautiful. And so Christine and I, we took like a half a day off and we went to the Desert Museum. Okay. And usually when I'm in Tucson and I'm shopping or whatever, I have no time to do anything else, right? Other than shop. And Christine, now she works at the Natural History Museum in San Diego. She's like, we are going to the Desert Museum. And I'm like, all right, we're going. So we went and it was incredible. And it was super inspiring. And I loved the colors of the desert. It was magical. So before I left on my trip, what I did was I pulled colors that kind of reminded me of the desert. Okay. I had no idea what I was going to do with them. Okay. Zero idea. But I just wanted to get the color palette right. So the color palette, let me kind of line them up here. I can make a list. We'll probably put this up as a project so you can see all of mine, but let me lay them out so you folks can see them. You know, you decide what you like and you make your choices from there. This is a great one for stash diving if you wanted to, or just, I don't know, go to your seed bead stash and decide what it is you like. And then what I did was I laid them out in kind of an ombre. I'm really into this kind of ombre style here. Where did this one go? Maybe here. I don't know. I just lined them up. And then I had some metallics. You can see here I had two different metallics. I had this matte bronze, which I love. This alabaster gray, which I love. The galvanized pewter. This one's the matte metallic silver, right? So I grabbed these, put them in this bag along with some pens that my buddy Nancy Lorenz gave me, threw them in a bag. I also made photocopies of the little charts that came with the loom. I put them all together and I went to Tucson. Okay. Looked at Tucson, shopped, went to the Desert Museum, all of those things, right? And then I still didn't know what I wanted to do, right? And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to start with just making one row of each of the colors. And I made mine a little bit wider than Emily's. The one that she showed on the broadcast, she did 15 beads, right? And then it was 7 beads per side for the strap. I wanted this to be a little beefier. Of course, I like to bite off more than I can chew. So I started my design. There was this rattlesnake. They had this rattlesnake exhibit at the Desert Museum. And I'm super afraid of snakes, but I love them. But they terrify me. And so I was just looking at those snakes with just morbid fascination. But I thought doing some kind of diamondback kind of look pattern would be kind of cool. So I started with just 15 across and I just started coloring some design in. But then I thought, you know what? That's going to be too small. So I went and I counted. So I have 31 rows across and I just kind of figured out where my center was going to be. And all I did was pattern this much out. And I knew you can see here, if I show you the diamonds a little bit closer, the outside of the diamond is a shiny metallic, the inside is a matte, and then the very inside 4 seed beads are the color. And so I just went across with the colors. Now I'm kind of stuck. It's like, okay, now what do I do? I think that this is all I want to do for the front of the design. So I think what I want to do, the background color, thanks for asking, it's this one. It's the matte metallic silver. So that's the background. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to band it with the matte metallic bronze and the matte, the Duracoat galvanized pewter. I'm going to put 2 bands of it up here. Okay. Then I'm going to split off like Emily did. And I'm going to start with the color bands right here, repeating this down here, and then maybe doing some, I don't know, some diamonds or maybe some arrowy kind of things. I'm not sure. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to take each little component as it comes, and I'm not going to worry about it so much. I know Emily said that this section was about 2.5 inches. So let me measure. I haven't even measured. That's the beauty of these projects. You can kind of let them unfold and see what works. And as long as you're using kind of a cohesive color palette, whatever happens will happen. And it is kind of very kind of Navajo blanket, a little bit, a nod to those wonderful textures and colors as well, Michelle. Good observation. I mean, I can't help but kind of be inspired by those just amazing colors of the desert. So I am at about 2.5 inches here, right? So I think I'm just going to do this section here, those 2 metallics, and then I'm going to branch off. Maybe do the bands of color here, and then maybe just go into diamonds or maybe arrows or I don't know, something, but we'll see. And yeah, Janice, I would do that. I would flip the color bands. So the turquoise is here and it's going back up here to the bronze. I think that's a good observation. So it's kind of, bookended with that. So, so we'll see. And I think what I'm going to do here for just a slight bit of fringe, I'm going to go ahead and do maybe just a short little, I don't know, something woven here at the bottom. I'm not really sure, but I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. We do still carry this loom right on the Bead Shop website. I love it. It's called the Ojibwa loom. And you can see, let me pull this out a little bit. You'll be able to see a little bit more of my mess on the thing. But see here, it's like this right here. It's good. And I used KO for my looming. I used just the ivory KO color. And one of the other things that I did was I have a little packet of sticky notes. And you can see I used those sticky notes on whatever line I was working on. So it kind of showed me which bead to use, right? And I'm not really mapping out or gridding out the whole piece, right? I'm just I'm going to repeat this pattern and just use this pattern as I go up. So, whatever works for you. There can be no wrong or no right. But anyway, so that was mine. I wanted to share that with you folks. I was pretty pleased with it. I love the way this diamond, we also stayed, our Airbnb that we stayed in had a very mid-century modern feel. It was pretty awesome. So this also has a bit of a mid-century modern feel for me as well. So this encapsulates Tucson 2023 for me. All right, so I'm going to add this Tucson giveaway tool to our stream that we have here. We've got 140 entries, so keep going if you want to keep adding that hashtag Tucson. But I'm going to go ahead and I think we'll give away a Tucson show guide. Then we'll give away the goodie bag, and then we'll give away the Tucson show guide. So I've got 3 things that we're going to do. So this first poll is for the Tucson show guide here. And let's go ahead and do our drawing. Let's see who it's going to be. Roberta! Email us at info@beadshop.com just to make sure I've got your address, but I think I do. I'm going to screenshot this so I've got you. 1 show guide going out to Roberta. Now, in the goodie bag, you haven't seen this, but we've got really fun stuff. I've got some little earring kits. I've got a caliper. I've got a whole bunch of really cool cords from leather cord. I've got this really nice little bit of, there's tulip beading needles in here, which is great. And some 1G in here. There's some really pretty beads from Jesse James Beads. So all of this, plus the tote bag is pretty nice. Oh, and a stamp from our buddies at Impress Art. It's all in here. So this will be coming to you. Let me draw for this giveaway. For the gift bag, let's see who it is. Anne, you are the winner of the gift bag. Let me screenshot you. And we will do our last giveaway for 1 more show guide. It's fun. I like giveaways. I like doing this. Let's see. Kimberly, you are our winner. Okay, so we've got the 3 of you. I've got you, but just in case, email us your mailing address at info@beadshop.com. I'll get those out over the weekend to you folks. So you will get them. They will come from me. Let me remove this here. Good job, everybody. All right, let me remove this. Here I am. All right. Well, that was fun. Let me take all of this stuff off here. There we go. And this one. There we go. All right. And me. Here I am. Okay. Well, wasn't that fun? I had fun. I hope you had fun. Next week, I've got a fun project. I'm going to be doing herringbone. We're going to revisit a little bit of herringbone next week. Gosh, I don't know what my hair is doing today. It's kind of crazy. But we've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming down the pike for you. I promise those Tucson boxes are getting sorted and made. They'll go out soon, and I'll give you an update on those. But I'm going to tell you one thing. When you get your Tucson boxes like these will never be seen again. The Tucson prices and the things that I found for you folks, I'm pretty proud of myself, my shopping prowess. We're going to do some more boxes for you. We're kind of putting our heads together about how we're going to do it. But these Tucson boxes, I'm sorry if you missed them. I love them. They're pretty darn cool. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know. I'm working on them. We're working as fast as we can. So those will be going out soon. There's no wait list on the Tucson boxes. I'm sorry. We did 200 of them, 100 in each color. More than 200 I couldn't handle. Shopping for more than 200 of or 100 of one type of bead is virtually impossible. So, but we're going to be doing some more fun stuff like that. I promise. So if you missed out, don't worry. I'm putting up, I have some more ideas. I'll do it next Tucson, I promise. But yeah, 200 is all I can do. It's just me and Christine and the whole team. But I'll tell you, I put a lot of miles on these Brooks tennis shoes as I did this. Anyway, so I just wanted to say a big, big thank you to you folks for all of your support, not only today, but throughout our Tucson trip, throughout all of these projects that we put up for you. Because seriously, so many of you that I saw in Tucson, you came up, you spoke to me, you hugged me, you sent your kind wishes and regards back home to the team. We could not literally be here without you folks supporting us from across the miles. And you can find us, of course, on all of our social channels at beadshop.com on Instagram, at the Bead Table on Facebook, and you can hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube. You know, those social shares also really, really help. You know, I'm not just talking about purchases, but I'm talking about sharing on social media to help get the word out for other beaders to find beadshop.com. We have 40 years of learning behind us, and hopefully there'll be 40 more and beyond coming at you folks. And of course, find all of the information on the project that I did today, Cable Knit, as well as Emily's fantastic looming project right over on our website at beadshop.com. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, because all of that stuff that is in my living room and sitting right here, I can see here and over there on that shelf, all of that stuff is coming in the next few months. So you don't want to miss anything. I'm going to tell you, it looks pretty darn good. So again, a big, big thank you to all of you. And my mom said, even I'm helping put the boxes together. It's true. My mom showed up. She put things in a bag. She put them aside. More things in a bag. Put them aside. So we had a lot of fun. So thank you. And I will see you next Wednesday with some herringbone. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.